Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
Very low. Yeah, they go ahead and make their intro soon. You go everything.
Good morning, people of the United States Virgin Islands. Welcome to the 6th Constitutional Convention Oath of Office ceremony. To formally welcome us to the ceremony and to acknowledge this occasion, we recognize the Senate President of the 36th Legislature of the United States Virgin Islands, the Honorable Milton E. Potter.
Good morning, everyone, colleagues. A special good morning to our Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Tregenza Roach, our Congresswoman, the Honorable Stacey Plaskett, presiding judge of the Superior Court, the Honorable Deborah Watlington, our Supervisor of Election, and Carolyn Fox. Good morning to the people of the Virgin Islands, both in the chambers as well as in the viewing and listening audience. I want to also acknowledge our students who are here in the audience with us today from All Saints, from Charlotte Amalie, hi, and from my alma mater, Ivana Eudora Kent. So let's give them a little special. I know they have a pass to be here, so for sure. And we want to just give an extra special good morning to the 15 elected members of the 6th Constitutional Convention of the Virgin Islands. To the delegates, and I know they're probably hearing in the back, I want to just say to them, you have been entrusted by the people of the Virgin Islands with an incredible responsibility of crafting the framework that will shape our territory's future. Your diverse backgrounds, deep understanding of VI culture, and commitment to progress make you uniquely qualified for this momentous task. As you begin this journey, remember that you carry not only the hopes of our current generation, but also the dreams of those who came before us and the aspirations of those who will follow. The path ahead requires wisdom, it requires patience and dedication to the principles of democracy and self-government. Your decisions will echo through generations, influencing how we govern ourselves and preserve our unique Virgin Islands heritage. May the Most High bless you in your deliberations, and may He bless the Virgin Islands of the United States.
We welcome to the stage the delegates-elect, who will be serenaded with Can't Give Up Now by Jeanette Reimer.
There will be mountains that you will have to climb, and there will be battles that you will have to fight. But victory or defeat, it's up to you to decide. 'Cause how can you expect to win if you never try? You just can't give up now. You've come too far from where you started from. 'Cause nobody told you that the road is gonna be easy, and I don't believe He's brought you this far to leave you. Never said there wouldn't be trials, never said you wouldn't fall, never said that everything would go the way you wanted to go. But when your back is against the wall and you feel all hope is gone, lift your head up to the sky and say, help me to be strong. Oh, 'cause you just can't give up now. You've come too far from where you started from. 'Cause nobody told you that this road is gonna be easy, and I don't believe he's brought you this far to leave you. No, he didn't bring you out here to leave you lonely, even when you can't see clearly. I know that he will be with you, so you say, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I've started from. 'Cause nobody told you that this road is gonna be easy, and I don't believe he's brought you this far to leave you. No, 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 no. You just can't give up now. You've come too far from where you started from. Nobody told you that this road is gonna be easy, and I don't believe he's brought you this far to leave you. No, 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 no. You just can't give up now. You've come too far from where you started from. 'Cause nobody told you that this road is gonna be easy, and I don't believe he's brought you this far to leave you. And you can sing it for yourself. Say, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I've started from. Nobody told me that this road is gonna be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me.
We have welcomed to the stage the delegates-elect. Delegate, please stand as your name is called. John J. Abramson, Jr. Liliano Belardo de O'Neill. John M. Kanagata. Devin F. Carrington. Imani Daniel. Lydia Hendricks. Rudell A. Hodge, Jr. Stedman Hodge, Jr. Usi Raymond Richards. Akima Richardson. Rupert W. Ross, Jr. Ronald Russell. David Silverman. Arturo Watlington Jr., my apologies. And joining us virtually, Alicia M. Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand with the delegates for the invocation by the Legislative Chaplain, Reverend Charles L. Brown.
Let every heart pray. God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we pause at the outset of this historic gathering to recognize you as sovereign, our sovereign Lord. Lord over our nation, Lord over our territory, Lord, over our legislative districts, Lord, over this constitutional convention, and Lord, over all of the stakeholders who have come together for this monumental occasion. I pray that all business that is done today is done towards the goal of identifying and proposing our own Virgin Islands Constitution in a way that is transparent and in a manner that improves the confidence and trust of our people in the political process. Right now, Lord God, we pray for each and every delegate: John J. Abramson Jr., Liliana Belardo D. O'Neill, John M. Kanagata, Delvin F. Carrington, Imani Daniel, Lydia Hendricks, Rudell A. Hodge Jr., Stedman Hodge Jr., Uzi Raymond Richards, Akima Richardson, Rupert W. Ross Jr., Ronald Russell, David Silverman, Arturo Watlington Jr., and Alicia M. Wells. Anoint them, Lord God, from the top of their heads to the soles of their feet. Cover the delegates such that when temptation rises to appeal to good old politics, let a desire rise up in them to do right by the people. Today is a day we need you, God, to be God all by yourself and help us to be better, the best versions of ourselves that we can be. We know that the road has not been easy, but we've come too far for you to leave us. And so, God, we're calling on you today to help us press towards the mark and help make our territory better. In the matchless name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the National Anthem and Virgin Islands March. Please be seated. We welcome Caroline Fox, Supervisor of Elections, for the reading of the certification and presentation of the delegates.
Good morning, Honorables Lieutenant Governor Roach, Delegate to Congress Plaskett, Senate President Milton Potter, Presiding Judge, Superior Court of the Virgin Islands, Judge Watlington, members of the 36th Legislature, Virgin Islanders, present and listening and viewing, and all our distinguished guests. Pursuant to Title 18, Chapter 3, Section 47, Act 8681, and Act 8734, all duties relative to the certification of the results of the general election of the November 5th, 2024 have been completed, and it has been determined that the following delegates have been elected members of the 6th Constitutional Convention for the Virgin Islands of the United States. As your name is alphabetically called per district, please stand to be recognized and then take your seat. Appearing virtually, the at-large delegate, St. John Alicia M. Wells. Next, Delegates District of St. Croix, John J. Abramson, Jr. We give him a little clap. Let's get some life in here. Liliana Belado de O'Neill. John M. Canigata. Devin Carrington, Esquire. Usi Raymond Richards. Rupert W. Ross, Jr. Ronald Russell, Esquire. Delegates, District of St. Thomas, St. John, Imani Daniel. Lydia Hendricks. Rudel A. Hodge, Jr. Stedman Hodge, Jr. Akima Richardson. David Silverman. Arturo Watlington, Jr., Esquire. Will all the members of the 6th Constitutional Convention please stand? Thank you, and remain standing.
Now to administer the oath, we welcome the Honorable Deborah S. Watlington, Presiding Judge, Superior Court of the Virgin Islands.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm going to ask all of the delegates to say their names individually after I say aye, starting with Mr. Abramson and ending with Ms. Wells. Please raise your right hand to be sworn. I,
Alicia Wells.
John Michael Canigata.
Bonnie Kai Daniel. C.F. Hendricks.
Stedman Hodge, Jr. Rupert Wallen Benjamin Hodge, Jr.
Alan Russell. David Lee Silver.
Alicia M. Wells.
do solemnly affirm
Do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
applicable to the United States Virgin Islands
applicable to the United States Virgin Islands
and the laws of the United States Virgin Islands.
and the laws of the United States Virgin Islands.
That I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as delegate,
as
and in the
delegate,
case of Ms. Wells, as at-large delegate
as at-large delegate
for the 6th Constitutional Convention
for the 6th Constitutional Convention
of the Virgin Islands
of the Virgin Islands
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
So help me God.
Please God.
Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Congratulations to our delegates. Thank you very
you.
much for joining us today for this ceremony. We will now receive the benediction from the legislature's chaplain, Reverend Charles L. Brown. Please stand.
God, for this day, we give you thanks and praise that we have done our part to move our territory forward in the recognition of those who have been elected by the people of the Virgin Islands. We now ask for your continued covering as they begin the deliberative process that will take us closer to a paradise here in these Virgin Islands, that we, the people, will have had an indelible voice in the shaping of our future. Bless us, Lord, with your Holy Spirit, that we might support them in the most honorable ways and inspire them to be the people you've called them to be for such a time as this. Amen. Amen.
The listening and viewing audience is invited to continue tuning in for the organization of the 6th Constitutional Convention, which will occur after a short break. Please be seated.
Convention delegates, we're going to resume in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, we'll resume. Good afternoon, everyone. The formation session of the 6th Constitutional Convention is now called to order. Per Act 8681, as Senate President, I'm authorized to serve as a temporary presiding officer for the 6th Constitutional Convention of the Virgin Islands until a permanent officer or permanent officers are elected. Madam Clerk, can we please have a roll call?
Delegate John J. Abramson Jr.
Present.
Delegate Abramson Jr. Present. Delegate Liliana Belardo de O'Neill. Present. Delegate Belardo de O'Neill. Present. Delegate John M. Canegata.
Present.
Delegate Canegata. Present. Delegate Devin F. Carrington. Present. Delegate Carrington. Present. Delegate Imani Daniel.
Present.
Delegate Daniel. Present. Delegate Lydia Hendricks.
Present.
Delegate Hendricks. Present. Delegate Rudell A. Hodge Jr.
Present.
Delegate Hodge Jr. Present. Delegate Stedman Hodge Jr. Delegate Hodge Jr. Present. Delegate Uzi Raymond Richards. Delegate Richards. Present. Delegate Akima Richardson. Delegate Richardson. Present. Delegate Rupert W. Ross Jr.
Present.
Delegate Ross Jr. Present. Delegate Ronald Russell. Delegate Russell. Present. Delegate David Silverman.
Present.
Delegate Silverman. Present. Delegate Arturo Watlington Jr.
Present.
Delegate Watlington Jr. Present. Delegate Alicia M. Wells.
Here.
Delegate Wells. Present. Mr. President, 15 delegates present.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum and we're prepared to proceed. Is there a motion?
Motion, Mr. President. Motion, Mr. President.
Delegate Carrington, you're recognized for your motion.
I hereby make a motion to adopt Resolution 001 of the 6th Constitutional Convention signed by a majority of the delegates, establishing the officers of the 6th Constitutional Convention to serve on the Executive Committee. Those officers are as follows: President Uzi R. Richards, Vice President Stedman Hodge, Secretary Imani Daniel, Treasurer John J. Abramson.
Motion. Second. Objection.
Properly moved by Delegate Carrington, seconded by Delegate Richards, objected to Abramson. Delegate Abramson, objected to by Delegate Watlington. Roll call.
Mr. Chairman, may I speak on my objection? No. Mr. Chairman, may I speak on my objection?
Following the roll call, Delegate Watlington will allow you.
Excuse me, is the court really running this session, or you got him hearing telling you what to do?
No, Delegate, we're gonna entertain the roll call at this time, Delegate Watlington.
All right, well. Motion. Good.
We're in the middle of the roll call right now. So, Madam Clerk, can we please have the roll call?
Delegate John J. Abramson Jr. Yes. Delegate Abramson Jr. Yay. Delegate Liliana Belardo de O'Neill. Yes. Delegate de O'Neill. Yay. Delegate John M. Canegata.
Yes.
Delegate Canegata. Yay. Delegate Devin F. Carrington. Yes. Delegate Carrington. Yay. Delegate Imani Daniel.
No.
She said yes. Delegate Daniel. Nay. Delegate Lydia Hendricks.
No.
Delegate Hendricks, nay. Delegate Rudell A. Hodge Jr.
No.
Delegate Hodge Jr., nay. Delegate Stedman Hodge Jr. Yay. He said yes or nay? Yay. Delegate Hodge Jr., yay.
Delegate Usi Raymond Richards. Delegate Richards, yay. Delegate Akima Richardson. Delegate Richardson, yay. Delegate Rupert W. Ross Jr. Delegate Richardson, nay. Delegate Rupert W. Ross Jr. Delegate Ross Jr., yay. Delegate Ronald Russell. Delegate Russell, yay. Delegate David Silverman. Nay? No. Yes. Delegate Silverman, nay. Delegate Arturo Watlington Jr. Delegate Watlington Jr., nay. Delegate Alicia M. Wells.
Nay.
Delegate Wells, nay. Mr. President, 8 yeas, 7 nays.
Thank you very much. The motion carries.
I would be able to speak on my motion and my objection after the roll call.
I just want to congratulate the new chair, new president, Delegate Usi Raymond Richards. Congratulations. Where at this point, I'm going to relinquish the chair to the new president of the 6th Constitutional Convention, Delegate Usi Raymond Richards.
Thank you
very much, sir.
Mr. President, good morning to all. And given this occasion, I will take the privilege of the chair to ensure that each one of us has at least 3 minutes to address our family, friends, and the individuals that are both viewing and listening. And so we'll start with Delegate Richardson. You're recognized for 3 minutes.
Yes. Thank you, President Richards.
You could pull the mic out.
Yes, thank you, President Richards. It is a pleasure to be here today. And I just want to thank all of the audience, whether virtual or in person, for coming and just showing your support. I also want to congratulate my fellow delegates on a job well done. We've come very far today. I also want to share that this Constitutional Convention, this is Virgin Islands history in the making, and we have a major role to play. It is my hopes that my fellow delegates and I can put any existing or pre-existing differences aside to get the job done. We work for the people, and we want to do our best job. So with that being said, thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Richardson. Delegate Daniel.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. I'm going to read some thoughts and then I'll speak candidly. Honorable delegates, esteemed guests, and my fellow Virgin Islanders, good morning. I sit before you today with deep gratitude and an even greater sense of responsibility. This moment is not just about any one of us, it's about all of us, a people, a history, a future yet to be written. To the indigenous people on whose land we sit, I share in your grief and vow to disrupt the colonial paradigm that so unjustly unsettled your people. To our ancestors, I give thanks for those who loved, fought, dreamed, sacrificed, and existed so that we may continue this multi-generational pursuit of freedom. I ask that you continue to guide us with care and cover and rejoice in our efforts. Ashe. To my parents, siblings, friends, and family, thank you for encouraging me to dream big, and thank you for always saying yes first and asking questions later. Sharing this space and journey with you is truly the journey of a lifetime. To the youth, to the Virgin Islands millennials, near and far, this one is for you, for Alawi. To prove the necessity and power of our existence and influence here in the Virgin Islands. Get organized, get engaged, get home, and get to work. To the youth of the Virgin Islands, I apologize for your systemic neglect, You all have inherited loss, but you truly deserve the world. I pray that you seek reparation from us and not revenge on us for the mismanagement of your innocence. The future we are building today is yours. To the people of the Virgin Islands, thank you. I wish I could, but I cannot promise you changes tomorrow, or even really in the near future. What I can promise is that this year we will draft a constitution worthy of your support, and within the next 2 years, the world will know of our collective fight for equity, autonomy, and dignity. I ask that you unapologetically hold us accountable to this mission. To my fellow delegates, we gather here as the 6th Constitutional Convention, carrying forward a torch the generations before us have lit. Their work was not in vain, and neither will ours. This is not merely a meeting of minds, but a gathering of purpose, and today we affirm our commitment to drafting a constitution that reflects our values, our resilience, and our unwavering determination to shape a more just, equitable, and prosperous Virgin Islands. And now I will speak candidly. It's day one, and I'm already incredibly disappointed in this convention, and the way that we organize, and the way that we chose leadership, and in the way that promises and intentions were broken. I think we are upholding the status quo in the Virgin Islands, and we are not pushing forward millennials and youth and women who deserve to lead, who are capable of leading. And so, all I will leave you with is who don't have this feel. And the
30
Virgin Islands
seconds.
people are feeling. You had an opportunity here to do something different, and you chose not to, and we'll see how it goes. And I will use the remaining part of my time to ask everyone to please support the Family Resource Center on St. Thomas and St. John and the Women's Coalition on St. Croix,
Time.
so that we may put an end to domestic violence and the territory of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Thank you.
Thank you kindly, Delegate Daniel. We now hear from Delegate Hendricks. Hendricks. Yeah, that's okay. Repeat it again. Delegate Lydia Hendricks.
Good morning.
You could pull the microphone out so you could.
I think my voice is loud.
No, it won't work in that. You have to use the microphone so it could be on the record.
Okay. Good morning, all. Congratulations to all of the persons present here in the podium with me this morning. I wanted to say, all of the students that you saw here this morning were brought here for a reason. It's not about us. It's about them. They are going to be the leaders. And so I commend all of the students that came this morning. I hope it was a worthwhile experience for them. And now I will speak on my behalf. I decided to run for the Constitutional Convention for many reasons. But everybody knows that I was on the Board of Elections. And I decided to give that up because that was another 4-year term. That was too long. I don't want to be that old on anybody's board. This is a short-term process. And I believe that I can make a difference if we work collectively and if we be true to ourselves. There's too much disingenuousness going on, and I am very, very disappointed this morning. But for the listening audience and for my family, thank you so very much for coming. My friends stuck it out with me, Ms. Joan Dawson. The others had to go back to work. But I really believe, and I hope, that this 6th Constitutional Convention will be the last. Enough of the government money is being spent and wasted.
1 minute.
Thank you all very much, and let us get to work and be productive.
Thank you, Delegate Hendricks. Delegate Silverman.
Good afternoon, fellow delegates. Good afternoon, friends and neighbors and family. Before I begin, I want to recognize my wife, Susan Silverman, sitting behind me. Without her support, I would not be here today. She has encouraged me at all stages to stand up and to advocate for what I believe is the brightest future for the Virgin Islands. I'm proud, and it is an honor to be in this group. But most of all, I feel very humbled to be sitting in a group of 14 other Virgin Islanders with brilliant histories in the legislation and business and all aspects of this territory, who are all equally committed to bringing a constitution forward to the people of the Virgin Islands. Yes, I had hoped for a different leadership, but I stand fully behind the leadership which was duly elected. I am a collaborator by nature. I am an advisor by profession, and I really will put my best efforts towards trying to build bridges, to trying to find common ground, and most importantly, to trying to create a document which proposes the brightest possible future for all the people of the Virgin Islands, which has the highest chance of getting through the U.S. Congress, and most importantly, is accepted by the millennials and the youth of this territory, who will be the actual beneficiaries of our work.
1 minute.
So thank you all for admitting me into this body, and I will put my best efforts forward to achieve all those goals. Thank you.
Thank you kindly, Delegate Silverman, Delegate Stedman Hodge Jr.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Greetings to the viewing and listening audience. First, I need to give some thank yous to my wife who's sitting behind of me, Kay Fontaine Hodge, who's my real backbone, supporting me all the time. I have my aunt here, Gloria Davison, and her daughter, my cousin Moni, my brother, Oliver Seraphin, his father-in-law. They were here, and other folks as well. I want to recognize members of the Democratic Party that are here. Cedar Rondos, Butch Canero, Tony Green. Kudos for what you all do as relates to your clubs in the territory. But I want to really speak to the organization. There were a number of different meetings, and the one thing that really stood out, the one thing I always made sure I communicated was, we have to organize. It took us over an hour to organize in here today. What should have happened from before? And I don't have to be the one to take charge or take over. I'm going to feed you the information, I'm going to guide you, and I'm going to be honest and forthright with you. But experience does matter. I want to share a personal experience of why this 6th Constitutional Convention is necessary and why we need a document. Okay, because it's going to guide and organize governance. Last week, a vagrant, a homeless lady wanted to get back home, to leave the Virgin Islands, and I bought her a plane ticket to go back home. And so my colleagues at the Department of Labor supported me. Had a very good friend of mine I've known for years, says, steady, it really tight, can't find a work, can't get a job, can you buy me groceries? That's how bad it is. And then when we speak to morale in government, morale sucks. And we know what's happening with other individuals and leadership getting salaries and doing their thing.
1 minute.
We have work to do here, and it's on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands. I don't run or manage anything on personalities, and I'm always going to be straight up with you when I speak to you. I believe in policies and procedures, and most folks, they don't want to hear the truth. But I'm going to do my due diligence to work extremely hard on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands, and those who know me, you know my character. I am my father's son. Speak like him, act like him, talk like him. And it's not going to change. I believe in us. I believe in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Thank you for the time, Mr. President.
Thank you much, Delegate Stedman Hodge Jr. Before we cross the aisles, I want to recognize virtually Delegate Alicia Wells, as I see you on camera and on the screen right after Delegate Stedman Hodge Jr. Delegate Wells.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Mr. President. I think this is the first time I can recall in the history of the Virgin Islands that there was a swearing in any office virtually. That's to show us how far we've come And that's to show us that we're moving in probably the right direction, because no one needs to be physically present to have any work done. I too had hoped for a different outcome this morning, because I believe that the older heads should be holding up and giving information to the younger heads. Be that as it may, I want to congratulate the persons in the new administration. I want to say that the students who were there today, I hope that some of them are still in the chambers, because or we need to write or send packages to the principals so they can probably have those packages discussed in school with the appropriate teacher for the classes. I believe that I am up to the job. I too do not believe in personalities, because everybody has his or her own personality that's given to us by God. And I'd like to segue for a minute and thank the people of the Virgin Islands for supporting me and voting for me as the at-large delegate. I'd also like to thank God for his presence in my life. And I can give you a whole story, but who wants to hear that? It's a happy day here.
1 minute.
Thank you. I think that we have a group of strong-headed persons. We're going to disagree a lot, I know. But at the end, I believe in October, we'll have our documents as demanded of us, and we'll be able to have it go through the process of getting approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate Wells. Delegate Arturo Wattleton Jr.
Good morning, all. Congratulations to all the delegates. I want to just say something quickly about what has happened in the past. I had the honor of serving on the last Constitutional Convention, with the 5th Constitutional Convention of the Virgin Islands, maybe the 4th in my adult life, I believe, or at least in the life that I can remember. It was a bullying experience in that we had a concept wherein a majority was formed and a minority was created. Today resembles the same process. I heard Delegate Hodge indicate that it was this organization or this body was organized in 1 hour this morning. I guess that discussion was only had between 8 individuals. I spoke to many of the delegates in terms of what their likes, their dislikes, and what their preferences were. And at least 4 of them told me 4 different stories. So it doesn't matter. Our job is to try to stay away from the history of the 5th Constitutional Convention, which failed on the issue of native rights. As Imani said, many of us have ancestral heritage here in the Virgin Islands, but it doesn't change the fact that all of us are created equal under the laws of the United States and the laws of the Virgin Islands. So I hope, and I genuinely hope, that unlike the lack of sharing information, or at least even sharing for disagreement purposes, that this Constitutional Convention do not go down the same road. So I wish everyone Godspeed, truthfulness, and honesty, and have a good day.
Thank you kindly, Delegate Watlington. We recognize Delegate Ronald Lee Russell.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a momentous occasion. And congratulations to all of the delegates for being sworn in on this arduous task of doing a constitution for the Virgin Islands. I want to thank my wife, Royette Russell. I thank my daughter, Ronaqua Russell. They were here today. And thank you for supporting me in this auspicious occasion. I want to ask the delegates to come together for the Virgin Islands. I hear that you don't like how it was formed, but we form. And it's now time to get on to business. The business is going to take us talking to each other, finding out the concerns of each delegate, getting to know each delegate, and operating like a team. Everybody know team. Super Bowl, they know teams. And don't let the formation derail you because the formation was done how it was done. You still have a responsibility to the people of these Virgin Islands. And regardless of how they formed in this occasion, we need to meet, speak, learn about each other, respect each other, and give each other the time of day regarding getting to know each other. Because 15 people in a big team to get along. 15 people should use all of the social media, all of the resources to get to know each other. I am looking forward to working with everybody here to adopt a constitution for the Virgin Islands. Congratulations again. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. And I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Delegate Russell. Delegate John Cannigator.
I'd like to first thank God for just being here. I'd like to thank my family and the people of the Virgin Islands who've entrusted me, with potentially creating a document that could last for the rest of our history. Delegate Hendricks mentioned that there were many reasons that she chose to run. For me, there were many reasons I didn't want to run, but I only needed one reason, and that was to potentially create a document that could protect the people of the Virgin Islands. When I ran and a little bit of campaigning I did, I mentioned government and the teeth that they have. Well, this document has a potential to give the people back some of that teeth and remove some of that teeth from the government. I know some people might feel disenfranchised for how this was organized today. I am not a politician, or at best, I'm a bad politician, and I didn't like it either. But it is what it is, and this is what we have today. And I can promise my St. Thomas colleagues and my colleagues from St. John's that I am here to work with every single one of them. I am a team player. I was a hazmat captain. I ran for lieutenant governor when I had a female, Soraya Diasi-Kofelt, as a woman, so I have no issues with having a woman in leadership roles. Right now, I'm a supervisor planner. I work with people, and this is what I do. I'm an expert troubleshooter. I can honestly say I've never worked at something that failed, and I don't expect this to be the first. So I hope that we can come together, put all the personalities besides, and work together as a team to create this document that we so desperately need in the Virgin Islands. Thank you once again for your support, and God bless you.
Thank you, Delegate Cannigator. Delegate Rupert Ross, Jr.
Afternoon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon.
As I sit here, I reflect on my journey to today. I recall 44 years ago coming into this hall as the president of the 4th Constitutional Convention to present a document to the people of the Virgin Islands and to the President and Congress of the United States, which they approve, only to return home to be defeated by the people over an issue that divided us. I attempted to participate in the last Constitutional Convention and was unsuccessful. But God has blessed me with longevity and allowed me to be here for the 6th to accomplish my goal of having the people of the Virgin Islands adopt a constitution of their own choosing that they can amend and allow future generations to continue to mold and shape these islands for the betterment of their children and children's children. You see, these islands were not the way they are today when I came into this world. People like before me struggled to change it, to make it a better place for all of us.
1 minute.
And therefore, it is my lifelong ambition to leave this world, these Virgin Islands, a better place for people who reside here. And that is my sole mission. To my extended family from St. Thomas and my living family in St. Croix, I stand before you ready to work with everyone to make sure at the end of this toil, we produce a document worthy of the people of the Virgin Islands adopting and achieving the right to determine their own future without the interference of others. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Delegate Ross. That's Rupert Ross, Jr. We now hear from Delegate Rudell Hodge, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, fellow delegates, distinguished guests, and Virgin Islanders. First, I would like to take a moment to give thanks to God for his unwavering guidance, strength, and presence in my life. Without him, none of this will be possible, and I'm deeply grateful. Today, as we embark on the monumental task of crafting the first constitution for the Virgin Islands, I am filled with a deep sense of purpose. This is our moment. It is our time to forge a path that reflects our values and ensures justice, equity, and opportunity for future generations. The work we do today will lay the foundation for the Virgin Islands Renaissance, one that strengthens our community and secures a brighter future for all. I want to begin by expressing my deep gratitude to my parents, Rudell A. Hodge Sr. and Jill Testemark. Your unwavering support and the values you instilled in me have shaped me into who I am today. Thank you for everything. To my grandmother, Joycelyn Gums Testemark, your wisdom, love, and guidance have shaped every chapter of my life. Your strength continues to inspire me to be better every day. To my grandfather, Joseph Blackie Testemark Sr., your legacy of pride, wisdom, and strength runs through me. Every step I take is because of you. To my deceased grandfather, Mario Hodge, your drive, your discipline, and your belief in me continues to guide me. You push me to be the best version of myself, and I honor your memory. And to my deceased grandmother, Julie Valero, your love, spirit, and wisdom remains with me always. I carry your influence with me in everything I do. A special thank you to Dr. Muta Abif, whose brilliance has always inspired me to aim higher, to push harder, and to think bigger. Your friendship and mentorship are invaluable to me. To Raul Jesus Cepin, thank you for being a driving force in my life, for being one of my closest friends and confidants. Your unwavering belief in me and the wisdom you have shared with me have had a profound impact on me.
1 minute.
To my Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity brothers, I thank you for your loyalty, your brotherhood, and your unwavering support. Special thanks to all of my brothers who flew from New York to be here for this moment. Many of you know me by different names, from Rudy with a Y to Rudy with an I, from RJ, and even Ben Healy. These are names that are part of my journey that has shaped who I am today. Each name carries its own story, but no matter the name, I stand here the same person, determined, committed, and ready to serve the people of the Virgin Islands. As we begin this journey to create our Constitution, I am confident that together we will craft a document that will stand the test of time, a document that reflects the soul of our people, protect our rights, and ensure the success of future generations.
Time.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and your trust that you placed in me.
You can finish up.
Thank you for your trust you placed in me. Let's forge ahead and make history.
Thank you, Delegate Rudolph Hodge Jr. And I'm struggling to make sure that they had moved the podium out of the way so I could see your face good, but I could still see you. Delegate Liliana Belado de O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to all. Congratulations to all the members of this body. And I'm looking forward to be working with each and every one of you. I must say that I feel like I am home because I sat in this chair for many, many, many years to serve the community of the Virgin Islands. And I understand I did a very good job. So I'm hoping that in this one, I can do the same. And with my experience and my knowledge that we can guide the younger individuals here as member of this body. And I'm sure that the people that have served before can train us because the Constitution is first for me, and I will be learning just like my good friend here, Mr. Hodge. Let me say that I am looking forward to working with all of you. And I feel that with the experience of the people that have already served, and with the knowledge and experience of the younger people that are bringing to this body, that we are going to have the last Constitution Convention because this one is going to pass. And I believe that every one of us in this body is going to give 100% of their time to put into this Constitution so we don't have to come back here for the 7th because there will be no 7th. This is it. Okay, guys, members, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We have a mission, and a mission is to complete a document that will be accepted by the people of the Virgin Islands. And we need to get them involved, and we plan to get them involved. A document that will be presented to the President of the legislature, a document that will be accepted by the governor. And last but not least, we hope that our delegate can get it through Congress so that we can have our Constitution.
1 minute.
It is time for us to get our Constitution. I pray that all of us can work together, and I'm looking forward for the young people that are here. And I thank all of those young people that came here to see the process because they're the future. And we are stepping down, but when they're ready, we will step down. At this point, none of them came forward except 2 people here. And to tell you the truth, St. Thomas and John didn't have much interest in this conversation because most of them was write-in candidate. We had to fill out a whole document. We had to get signature from people in the Virgin Islands to run as delegate. And St. Thomas just sat back and said nothing but write in. And I appreciate that they came out and write in because I have some very good friends that write in. But you know, I'm going to say it how it is.
Time.
I said, thank you. I said, I would like to say thank you to my husband, my family, and all my supporters in St. Croix who have always been there for me for the many years that I served here, for the many years that I've served in the Board of Election, and now I'm serving in this precious Constitutional Convention. Thank you. Thank you, Madam, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Liliana Belado de O'Neill. We're in point of privileges. Point of order. Is there a rule being violated? Yes, sir. Okay. As I was saying, Mr. Silverman, Mr. Silverman, we will take up your point of order following the completion of the privilege of the floor has not yet been completed. That's the chair. The chair has ruled. If you want to challenge the chair, then make a motion to challenge the chair. The chair has ruled. All right, I appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Delegate John A. Abramson, Jr.
Good morning, all. Congratulations to all of you. I'd like to thank my wife and my siblings, Sean and Charlene. I'd like to thank the people of St. Croix for electing me to this position. I ain't saying much today because talk is cheap. The issue is work. I'm going to stay right there. Let's go to work. I'm done.
Thank you, Delegate John A. Abramson, Jr. Delegate Devin Carrington.
Good afternoon to all the people of the Virgin Islands, listening and present. I'd like to first thank my wife as well because she's been supportive of me in this endeavor. And I'd like to thank the people of St. Croix who came out in substantial numbers indicating that they realize the seriousness of this process. Bob Marley told us in song, every man has the right to decide his own destiny. This is a God-given right to be exercised by all people without outside interference. As this 6th Constitutional Convention is part of the process of self-determination, I am honored to be a part of this endeavor. In collaboration with my fellow delegates, who all I congratulate, I look forward to crafting a document that is forward-looking and that takes into account not only our current political status, but that anticipates and is adaptable to any future steps in self-determination and self-governance that we inevitably grow and develop into. I thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Devin Carrington. And allow me to begin by expressing my thanks and gratitude to the members of the 6th Constitutional Convention that in their determination that they find it fit to allow me to preside over this body. But I want to first begin with some acknowledgments. I do want to acknowledge my partner and confidant, Tanya Singh, that is sitting over to my left. And I also want to give some other acknowledgments that I think in the discussion and the statements being shared that there are some pertinent points that are being missed. And so for me, the acknowledgments I want to begin with, I want to acknowledge the former delegate to Congress, Donna Christensen, who on 2 occasions provided an opportunity for Virgin Islanders like myself, in the first instance as chairman of the ICM Territorial Committee, to appear before Congress on the subject matter that is the foundation of which this Constitution stands on, which is Public Law 94-584, a forum I shared with the late Charles Wesley Turnbull, our former governor, former chair of the Democratic Party James A. O'Brien Jr., former National Committeeman of the Republican Party, the late Holland Redfield. And so the discussion and the revitalization of this discussion, as mentioned by Delegate Ross, how long ago it was that we had a fourth constitutional convention, was revived before a congressional House committee to address the lack of existing constitution for both Guam and the Virgin Islands of the United States, which is our legal title. And that took place on June 6th of 2001. I, again, was fortunate through the efforts of our delegate to again appear before a House Congressional Committee by invitation, representing this legislative body in my capacity as minority leader on March 17, 2010, when representatives from the legislature were invited, the president, the majority leader, and the minority leader. But only I went, not to speak of the content of the fifth Constitution document, but to speak on the rights of those persons that we had elected to serve as members and delegates of the Constitutional Convention, irrespective of whether or not you or I agree with their position and or the content. They were acting and serving on behalf of the voting public, and I urge Congress to respect that right, to allow the document to come back to the people of the Virgin Islands and allow the people of the Virgin Islands to vote it up or down. I'm going to share some of these, and I think it's important because I am somewhat at a loss when you listen to the discussion of a decision-making process amongst a group bigger than one. This is all organizations. We had a constitutional convention with 60 members. Mr. Ross can help me as I am a young one. 60. Today we have the fortunate opportunity as delegates to be relegated to a body and a number of 15, of where, in my mind, I can assure you there will be disagreements, that we will not all concur on certain points of a document. But one with the experience of dealing with groups and organizations, as I've presided not over this legislature, I've presided over a 24-member body in the Caribbean, a 45-member body in the Americas, North America, South America, Central America, including the United States and Canada represented, and have served in the capacity of creating a governance document for over 212 national federations, known to most of you as countries at the international level. It is that experience I intend to bring, to share, to ensure the concerns, the ideas, the issues of everyone is equally heard. But rest assured that when the dime falls on the floor, it requires a majority of us to agree. And I so wholeheartedly accept the efforts of the legislature in their attempts and their success in bringing out a document, because it wasn't genius in what they did, but it was righteous in what they did that requires at least 9 members to be present to have a quorum. Why 9? Because we don't want 7 St. Croix delegates and 1 at-large delegate, or 7 St. Thomas St. John delegates and 1 at-large delegate get together, sit at the table. We have 8, and we have 8 is a quorum. 9 ensures that there's no way a quorum can be established without at least one person from that district being present. That is genius. That is transparency. That is equality. These things are necessary. I just started with and y'all, please bear with me because I intend to at least drive my points home and exercise the privilege of the chair as president. I want to acknowledge the League of Women Voters that provide an opportunity for all registered candidates for public office, in this case, delegate to Congress, to giving us an opportunity to speak to the people and the voters. I want to also acknowledge the supervisor election was here earlier. So I want to acknowledge the election system of the Virgin Islands and the supervisor deputies that hosted in the election system office in both St. Thomas and St. Croix, for the lack of a better term, orientation sessions for candidates for the delegate to the Constitutional Convention. I attended, irrespective of the fact that I may have thought in my mind, having served on the board of election for, 3 times 4 is still 12? And 10 years as a chairman of the Joint Board of Election and 2 years as the district board chair. I attended. And it was the process that the election system conducted that allowed me, a mere candidate, not even a candidate at that time, Marianne and John Q. Public, to attend their orientation session and to discover and to offer to the election system some concerns that needed to be redressed in the law. I asked Senate President Novel Francis, who is sitting there, that after those sessions, the election system came back to the legislature and requested certain changes to the law for the Constitutional Convention. And so I don't need someone's permission to offer advice in a forum as a citizen to ensure that the process is fair and equal and provide access and availability to the voters of our territory. And that's why I'm thankful that they had that, because we pointed those things out. Now on the other subject matter, and I want to thank these other 3 individuals. I don't know what Jamila Russell called her show. I don't know Mario Moorhead to call his show. I know Sinclair Williams to call his show. VI in the morning. And so as a concerned candidate, I didn't want to go on the ballot and want you to vote for me because you recognize my name, Usi Raymond Richards, and I cast in a vote for me based on popular recognition of a name. I paid for an hour 3 times to talk to Crucians about why I am running, why I believe I've earned your vote, what is a constitution, and why we need our own constitution. It wasn't out of the interest about who's going to get the most votes. It's about respecting the voters, educating and informing the voters about the process, and more importantly, to encourage the voters in the District of St. Croix, where we had over 14 or 15 candidates running for 7 seats, to encourage the voters to go to that page on the ballot. If you're there on the machine, you have to swipe right through. If you get a paper ballot, you have to flip it over to find us from St. Croix that are here today. And we have to at least educate our people. If we didn't let them know what a constitution is, that we are delegates, why do we expect them to be informed and to vote for us after the fact and just, oh, yeah, I know that boy, Devin Carrington, he's a delegate. Now, let me give Devin a vote. We can't condone that kind of behavior in our community. I want to specifically thank the former Senate President, and this is no affront to no one, Senator Novel Francis, and the members of the 35th legislature. Because when we reviewed the law after we got elected, we saw concerns. A majority of us, and a majority of us signed a letter addressed to Senate President Novel Francis, outlining some concerns in the law that we thought needed to be addressed even before we were sworn in here today. You know, the concern that would ensure that you and I, who are sitting within this well as members of the Constitutional Convention, is blessed with the autonomy, the freedom to determine who our legal counsel gonna be, than to have a law that tell we go to use a legal counsel, one from the legislature, one from the governor's office, one from the VI bar. We are advocating autonomy and was being strapped with a mandate like that. Thank you, Senator Francis, and thanks Senator Diane Capehart, because I saw she moved that amendment on your behalf during the session. I'll be done shortly. There is a distinct African proverb that I think that ought to also be shared with here today. And I'll share it with the intent of it being gender neutral. But the African proverb says that the father places his son on his shoulder so that the son could say, "Father," down the road. So this is what we intend to do today. From our youthful members, our youthful community, is to place them on our shoulders so that they could see farther down the road and begin to have a thorough working understanding of the process of governance. And in this case, governance in the Virgin Islands. My last little note, so you all could be blessed with knowing that I'll be finished now. And we do it all the time. And I think we should all be conscious of it, because we give thanks to God. We give thanks to Jah. We give thanks to Allah, by whatever name you want to call your Most High Power. But you really can't access that Most High Power unless you truly believe. And belief requires faith. And faith requires action. We are here today with the intent to act. I always share this little story from this book entitled The Steps We Took by the author John McHugh. He gave a little example about 3 frogs sitting on a log. And one of the frogs decided to jump. And the teacher asked the classroom, "So students, so how many frogs was left?" And his children them jump up. There were only 2 frogs left. The teacher said, "No, that's the wrong answer. There was 3 frogs sitting on a log, and one decided to jump. So how many frogs were left?" And again, they continue, oh, teacher is 2. Teacher says, your answer is wrong. So the answer is, there were still 3 frogs sitting on a log. Because the frog decided to jump, didn't mean the frog took the action of jumping. It requires action, and we are here today to encourage all of us collectively to take action with some sort of open mind and understanding, because, as I said, been there, done that. And I am assured, as I sit here today, that each and every one of us may have an opinion that some one of us may disagree about. But that doesn't give us the license to be disagreeable. That gives us the license to discuss and to come to consensus. It is my hope and intention to ensure that we engage in a process that allows us to orderly discuss, share, and come to a decision-making process. And that's my sole intent of accepting and sitting in this capacity today. I know my past experiences. I'm usually a different participant when I'm sitting down there in comparison to sitting up here. And so I'm pleased to be the traffic director, for the lack of a better term. So to let you know when the light is green, when the light turns red, and then to also warn you when the yellow light comes on, it's time for caution. And that's my sole purpose for being here today. I want to congratulate each and every single delegate. I want to say here an objection of a point of order. And when you have a point of order, Mr. President out there, and the other presidents that may be around, you ask you, so what rule is being violated? Members, within the next 14 days, we're going to be meeting to adopt rules. I can't violate no rules, and we ain't got no rules. So we will proceed and do that. I expect that the officers, myself as president, will try to work with the Vice President Stedman Hatch Jr., the Secretary Imani Daniel, and the Treasurer John Abramson Jr., so that we could quickly sit down and put forth a map to engage and to assure that each and every one of the 15 members can have a direction agreed upon so that we could all move. We thank you. I thank you for this opportunity, and I thank you for indulging with me. What do you call it, delegate, in my monologue? But in my statement, I think it may have been necessary. And thank you all again. Hearing none, I just went through with you. There's no point of order. There's no rules. Yes, but the point of order is not. The point of order is in regards to. Could you hold on? Grab your microphone.
The point of order is in regards to Resolution 001, which was improperly brought before this body. Section 4 of that resolution states that the rules governing the organization and operation of the 6th Constitutional Convention of the Virgin Islands of the United States are as set forth in the document titled Rules of the 6th Constitutional Convention, which are attached to, and by this reference, made a part of this resolution. Mr. Chairman, none of us have seen the rules of the 6th Constitutional Convention. They were not distributed. They were not a part of this document. And so that leaves me wondering, what have we actually adopted in Resolution 001? That was my question and point of order. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Delegate Silverman. And please note that the statutes and the process of Robert's Rule also provide for a 14-day limit by which to complete the rules and regulations to that. And that is why I mentioned that within the next few days, we were sure within 14 days to meet again for all of us to have the rules before us and review them. Thank you kindly. Hearing no further discussion, this session is hereby recessed, not adjourned. Yeah, and recess means that the session is still in at the call of the president, so we will cover the subject matter under the recess rule of Robert's Rules of Order. Have a pleasant day.